So here's a poll that I found very interesting. New poll: Americans strongly support Afghanistan withdrawal, want domestic issues prioritized. So let's look at the key findings. A majority of Americans, 51%, believe the United States should be less militarily engaged in conflicts around the world. That's a lot, right? And that's really good. Only 7% think we should be more engaged. And I imagine the rest of that percentage are people that, oh, what's a military? Is there a world outside of my bedroom? I imagine that's the rest of them. A strong majority of Americans, 60%, support the decision to bring our troops home from Afghanistan compared to 22% that oppose that decision. Opposition to redeploying American troops to Afghanistan, 47%, far outweighs the support for such a move, 29%. Two-thirds of Americans, 67%, think we should prioritize domestic issues over foreign policy issues. So what this tells me is the mainstream media talking about how much of a disaster Afghanistan is. I think what they're trying to accomplish by bringing on people like John Bolton and all these other weirdo creeps is they want the military-industrial complex to get the big win. They want to go in there because now they find, oh, if we go back in there now, we'll never leave. Because now, oh, in the future, right, the whole plan of action would be, oh, in the future, if people suggest we withdraw, they just compare it to this. And they go like, oh, it was such a disaster. Now, again, was the Afghanistan withdrawal horrible? It was done pretty bad. It was like actually like legitimately not great. And they fucked it up big time. Big time. They fucked it up. And the Taliban outplayed them, outsmarted them almost every single step of the way. Right? Now, I'm no Taliban supporter, unlike those at Fox News. But I gotta give it to them. I gotta hand it to them. You know, if I had a hat on, I'd take it off. They did a pretty good job at winning that battle. But either way, we shouldn't have been there in the first place. The whole project was a disaster. The whole thing in the get-go was a disaster. America's involvement in Afghanistan from the jump, right, in the 70s and 80s has been a disaster. And so, again, at what point do you just say, all right, we fucked up, let's get the hell out? So again, it could have been done better. Absolutely. No question. But to say that we should have a permanent presence in Afghanistan is ridiculous. I personally think the United States should close all military bases abroad. That's my opinion. We should shut down all military operations in every country in the globe. Right? Even our allies, like Japan, right? Have you heard of what soldiers have been doing in Okinawa over the last couple of decades? Raping villagers, killing villagers, stealing from them, treating them like, you know, like, it's just ridiculous, right? Why does America feel the need to have a military presence everywhere? There's no need for that. We should shut down all of the military operations and funnel all of that money into providing for all of our citizens. And then once we have a surplus, once every citizen in the United States is fully got health insurance, food for the rest of their lives, housing situation all, you know, settled, then we take that surplus and we start paying it forward. That's what we should do. Instead of saying, oh, here's a couple, $1 billion, but we're only going to give it to your defense contractor buddies and your military operations and all that, and then we're going to have a military base in your country, why don't we just give billions of dollars, blanket checks to all the countries in the world? That's my opinion. Right? Why don't we, try to end child slavery all across the world? Instead, the Supreme Court's defending child slavery. Right? I'm just saying, it's a no-brainer, folks. And the idea that 60-ish% of Americans support the decision to withdraw from Afghanistan leads me to believe that at least 60% of people might be able to be convinced to be communists. Like, I'm just saying, if you are anti-war, it's not a far step from anti-war to pro-peace. And if you're pro-peace, I got news for you. You're a communist and you haven't realized it yet, but that's just my opinion. But either way, this is a very good poll. I'm happy that most people they know that this is a disaster. That is to say, the media's portrayal of this is a disaster. They're not falling for the bullshit, and that's good. I think that that's good. I am in support of just destroying. I think we should just end the United States military. National Guard, that's good enough. We don't need a military. What do we need a military for? What are we playing, Civilization? We're not playing jack shit. What is this, fucking 1874? What are we doing here? It's 2020 goddamn motherfucking one. Why do we need militaries? Why do we need bombs? Why do we need nukes? Why do we need fighter jets when people are sleeping on the streets? What? What the hell is going on here?